So this is an interview with Pat Venditte by two journalists named Anthony and Hank. Matthew is in charge of production. Oh, there you go. There you go. You want to do that?
Oh,
yeah, do that. Go ahead.
Nice, man.
Go, Pat Venditte, take one.
Very good.
Beautiful. That was
Very good.
inspiring.
Very good production manager.
What have been the biggest changes from Omaha to New York to Tampa?
From Omaha to New York is definitely the biggest change. Going to the Big Apple, people everywhere. It takes a half an hour to get a half a mile. Where in Omaha you can go 25 miles in 20 minutes. Just the amount of people and maybe the focus on sports is a little bit more intense in New York. It's pretty big in Omaha, but in New York it's everything.
What about Tampa?
That's right. Coming down to Tampa, it's not too fast of a lifestyle down here. Slower paced. Same routine every morning. I get up about 7:30, head to the field. Come home in the afternoon. It's pretty routine lifestyle. Don't do too much. This is definitely the high of my spring training right here.
What are your favorite music groups?
Music groups. Told you guys I was a country guy, so I don't know if I have any definite favorite groups. I like Eric Church, Zach Brown Band, big Luke Bryan fan too. So.
What about TV shows?
TV shows. How I Met Your Mother is becoming my favorite show. Just got into it actually, a couple months ago. Great show. My girlfriend got me the first DVD set, so I got into it that way, and I've already bought the second season. So Cheers is big too. My family was really into Cheers. So that kind of got me on that.
What are your favorite sports besides baseball?
Big basketball fan. Like hockey, golf, football, any of the mainstream sports. I'm a big fan of. Like to play golf. I'm not very good at it, but I like to attempt. Basketball, I think I'm good at it, but I know deep down I don't have what it takes.
What are your favorite things about spring training?
I don't know. There's one thing that's my favorite. It's kind of a grind. You do the same thing every day. I guess my favorite thing would probably be playing the games. That's the best part. When you get to pitch in those games, that's my favorite part.
What are your least favorite?
My least favorite? Having to get up every morning early. I like to sleep in every now and again.
Did you get a new glove for this year?
Yeah, this year Mizuno made me a new 6-fingered glove, similar to the ones that they had made me in the past. And it's a nice glove, and I'm very happy with it.
Is it the same type, or like they changed anything?
Same exact type, except they put my name on both sides. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's all right.
What different things can you do ambidextrously?
There's not a thing I can do left-handed. I'm right-handed in everything I do. As you guys saw, I tried to play some ping pong earlier left-handed. Didn't work out too well. But everything I do is right-handed. That's it.
Can you see yourself being a starter?
I don't know. I haven't really been a starter since high school. I don't know if I have the velocity and maybe the number of pitches that it takes to be a starter. So I would think they're going to probably keep me in the bullpen unless something changes.
How do you see this year turning out?
How do I see it? There's so many unknowns going into the season. I hope it turns out as well as last year. We do everything I can to make that happen, but it's a mystery. I hope it works out. That's for sure.
Where do you think you'll start off?
Hopefully Charleston. I don't want to stay down here in extended spring training. Like I said, I don't like getting up early every morning. So I hope I can get up to Charleston to start the year.
If you do well in Charleston, where do you think you'll end up?
That all depends on them. I don't want to, make any predictions because I really have no idea what they're thinking. I don't even know if I'm going to start in Charleston for sure. I don't know what's going through their heads or what they think about the situation. I'm just going to try to do well wherever they put me.
You were always nice. You never deny a fan autograph or anything. We don't get this in New York. Is it an Omaha thing?
I don't know. If you ask my sisters if I'm nice, they'd probably tell you no. So, no, I come from, a close family, and I've had good parents. So, and I remember growing up, my brother was really into autographs and how upset he would get if he didn't get one. And I was the same way. I would go to, Nebraska football games, and just the players that give the guys the time of day, it means a lot to them, and I was the same way growing up, so I think it's only fair that I return the favor.
About Staten Island, did you guys ask anything about Did you live in Staten Island?
We lived in Wagner College for the first half of the summer. We lived on the 4th floor there. That wasn't the best living. But, you know, it was all right. And luckily, once the students came back to school, we got to move into the Staten Island Hotel. And that's when things got good. Had our room cleaned every day, and you know, air conditioning worked in the room. We had all the cable channels, so life was good once August came.
Did you like playing with the Staten Island Yankees?
That was great. You know, the fans out there, awesome. You know, most of the places you go to, with the exception of Brooklyn and maybe a couple other places, you don't get that kind of support like you do in Staten Island. So to go out there and play for those fans, that was something special.
Were there any coaches or other players or folks with Staten Island Yankees who, you know, went out of their way and were particularly good and helpful and friends?
There were great people out there, especially the people out there at Brothers Pizza. They always took care of me. And there were some great fans out there, some loyal fans. A couple of fans actually sent me some of that Brothers Pizza a couple weeks ago. They froze it and sent it. The people out there are amazing.
Signed a contract with them too?
No contract with Brothers Pizza, I wish. That's some good pizza out there.
What does everyone in Omaha, you know, your friends and you must have a lot of local fans. What do they think? You know, how do they follow you? How do they stay in touch?
You know, my friends, I keep in contact with my friends, and they follow, you know, what's going on out here. Especially, you know, my 5 or 6 close friends. But aside from that, growing up and doing that in Omaha, it's not that big of a deal, and that's kind of that's what they've come to expect, you know, from the way I pitch. So to them, it's no big deal. So.
Are there a lot of Omaha products who are in the minor leagues now?
No, there's quite a few, surprisingly. We had, I think, since my freshman year at Creighton, there's been 4 Yankees, Tony Roth, Chase Odenrider, Eric Wardekemper, and myself. Hopefully this year with Darren Ruff, who was a senior at Creighton. Hopefully the Yankees can pick him up. He's a good player. And there's a lot of guys from around the city that it's a big baseball town. So there's quite a few guys in the minors and even a couple guys in the big leagues.
Where did you learn to play? Did you have like a little league team or a place that, you know, where you had batting cages and stuff?
My dad actually built me a batting cage when I was 3, and that's where I kind of started working out. And then I played my little league with St. Francis Cabrini Catholic Church and then Holy Ghost Catholic Church. So I played kind of in the Catholic school leagues, and I also played on some select teams. But the bulk of my pitching work I got done with the CYO baseball. So that's really where I grew up playing.
CYO has. I always thought someone should do a history, maybe they have, of CYO baseball and basketball, because it's especially CYO basketball around New York that's got an amazing alumni.
Yeah, there's some big names, especially if you go back and look at maybe some of the older players. Almost all those guys came through playing, you know, CYO sports. There's a rich history there.
So, do you have some dream of ever going back, and I guess it would be hard to go back and pitch in the majors in Omaha, but like doing something special in Omaha?
I haven't really thought that far. You know, AAA, they have an Omaha team. Or excuse me, Kansas
Royals?
City Royals team, yeah, exactly. The
Let's hope
Omaha
not.
Royals. They play at Rosenblatt Stadium, you know, where I played some of my college games, where the College World Series is. But, you know, I don't think the Yankees ever travel out there to play. So that would mean I'm with another team, and I'm pretty happy where I am right now. So I hope I stay out here. I know you don't like that too much, the Mets fan over there, but that's all right.
Is it ever slightly frustrating to be a Yankee farmhand and figure that, having watched what happened this offseason, if things don't go well one year, they're going to start bringing in Burnett's and Sabathias no matter what, and then they'll bring in another, you know, middle reliever and spend $3 million. You know, do you sometimes think, God, it'd be easier to be on the Pirates and to get to the majors? Or the Mets, obviously.
I mean, when you see him do stuff like that, it obviously narrows your chances, but yeah, that's something I'm really not thinking about right now. I got such a long way to go. It's only my first full season, and for me to be thinking about things like that is foolish, or to, you know, get upset about stuff like that. So I'm just going to worry about where they put me, and, you know, when the time comes, if I'm ready, and if I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll get my chance.
So why would your sisters say that you're not the nicest guy in the world?
Oh, you know, I always pick on them, always give them a hard time. And now that my parents are getting older and I'm out of the house, my little sister Anna, she thinks she can get away with anything. So sometimes I have to rain on her parade and make sure they still got an eye on her.
Are both your sisters younger?
Yeah, they're 19 and 17, I believe.
God.
And then I also have a 39-year-old brother, but he's got a couple kids. So we don't have too many problems there.
19 and 17-year-old sisters. We won't put any of this in, believe me. Hank, when Hank has a 17 or 19-year-old sister, he has no idea what responsibilities he's going to have. Security, I mean, starting with security.
Me too.
Yeah, it's rough.
I can't imagine. Well, I don't want to imagine.
He has like 20 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, a lot. How many?
9, I think.
Wow. Wow.
He has to count them.
So if you were to go to Charleston, well, have you ever been to Charleston?
No, I've heard it's a great city.
Charleston is one of those places, I mean, I don't know how they put you up, but you got to get to know somebody who lives in the part of the city. Most of the city is full of these trees that are unbelievable. Charleston has the most beautiful trees of any city in America. Hey, you know, I know, maybe that sounds weak. Atlanta has really good ones too, but it does. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and I don't say good things about South Carolina very often.
I've heard it's cool. It's a college town.
It's a college town, and the old folks who've been there are the heart of Southern hospitality. They really are.
I heard I get some good fans out there too, so it should be a good time if I can start out there.
Now, isn't that the team that Bill Murray's involved in, and Jimmy Buffett too?
I just learned that a couple days ago that I know Bill Murray is for sure a partial owner. I don't know about the rest of it, but I don't know how involved he is or whatever that is, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, obviously when we visit, it's going to have to be a weekend when Bill's in town.
I heard he does some pretty crazy promotions there, so that'll be fun to see.